once you have stitched your story cloths together to create a panel, I invite you to display that panel in your community in any way that works for you. I'm going to show you today how I crochet a sleeve on the back of my panel. So when I created this project, I wanted it to be mobile. I wanted to be able to pop it up anywhere. And so I came up with the idea of having some metal stands. You can kind of see this black stand in the background. And then creating each panel with a sleeve in the back so I could put a rod through. And then I could pop up a display of the tapestries wherever. So it's been in museums, it's been in schools, it's been in people's homes, it's been at community events, it's been out in public. It's just been a great way to show the panels wherever I want to take them. So I create this little sleeve on the back, and I have my little mini panel here. And the way that I did that was by crocheting. So I have a crochet hook. That this one is a J, so something along those lines. If you crochet, you know that the crochet hooks are sized by letters. So H-I-J-K, H-I-J, one of those will probably work. And I use red acrylic yarn. I buy lots of it because I use it for the fringe and the sleeve. So this is just a yarn from Michael's or Joann's, one of those craft places. Now I'm not going to teach you how to crochet. I'm going to encourage you to pick a member from your group who knows how to crochet and either crochet the sleeves or teach you how to do it, or go to YouTube if you want to learn how to crochet. I'm just going to show you what I did for my panels. So this is a little trickier. So I'm going to come right up here, starting from on the outside of the fabric, and the end that's on the right side of your panel. I poke my hook through and pull a loop. There you go. I'm leaving a little tail about this big. And then, as you do in crochet, then I'm going to pull a loop through that loop. And now I have a single loop on my hook. And I'm going to continue to go into the fabric, pull a loop, which gives me 2 loops. See that? And then pull a loop through, and that's a single crochet stitch. I'm going to continue to pull loops through, so we're kind of casting on to the fabric. And I don't want to go right at the very, very tippy edge. I want to go in a few rows and grab the loop so that the stitches are a little uneven, so that it doesn't pull right off the top of the fabric. When I get to the end of the first story cloth, I usually do a loop between the 2 story cloths and then continue across. So that's a single crochet, just picking up the stitches as you go along, and then you continue back and forth. You can do it however you would like, but through the many, many panels that I did, I came up with this sort of the pattern of doing a single crochet, a double crochet, a triple crochet, and then a double crochet, which looks like this. So that gives me a panel that's wide enough. I use a copper pole, a copper rod, a piping to hold up my panels. You might use a wooden dowel, or there's other different things. So I want to make sure that a variety of things will slide through here. And so I've crocheted across. I think this is about 3 inches, 2.5 to 3 inches wide. So once again, there it is, picked up on the front. There's the finished crocheting, and we're going to be folding this over to the back to stitch. So here's my final stitch here. And I'm going to go ahead and cut a long piece that I'm going to just use to stitch the panel together. So when you get to the very last one, you have your last loop. You're going to bring that long tail through. And then we're going to use that tail to stitch down the sleeve. Okay, so once again, use my method of just folding the yarn over the needle, slide the needle off, and then slide it back on. And there we go. To stitch the sleeve down to the fabric of the panel, I'm simply going to use a sort of a running stitch. So I just attach it there, and then I'm just going to pick a little bit of yarn from the story cloth and then stick it into the last stitch of the last single crochet, and then just keep moving forward. So this is a little bit less of the sawtooth pattern and a little bit more of just a running stitch. And I'm going to just do that all the way across to be creating the panel there. And it sort of just blends in. You just want to go right at an angle. And you want to be sure that you don't take such a big stitch that it pops through on the other side. All right, so then we're going to stitch that all the way across.